So you think you know your relationship, huh? Well, buckle up, because we're about to put that to the test. Welcome to the Relationship Riddle, a brain-busting, heart-throbbing journey into the labyrinth of love and connection. We're about to take a deep dive into the murky waters of your relationship, and trust me, you might uncover some truths that'll make your heart skip a beat or two. Now, we ain't talking about some mumbo-jumbo lovey-dovey stuff here. Nah, we're going in hardcore, digging into the nitty-gritty of your relationship vibe. You see, there's a whole spectrum of vibes out there, from the sweet and syrupy to the downright sour. And believe it or not, we've got 15 ways, yeah, you heard me right, 15 ways to decode your relationship vibe. We're going to be talking about everything from communication to affection, from the time you spend together to the way you handle conflict. You think you've got it all figured out? Well, we'll see about that. Now, don't get all antsy on me. This ain't about pointing fingers or laying blame. Nah, it's about understanding, about peeling back the layers to reveal the heart of your relationship. It's about learning to read the signs, to understand the signals, to navigate the stormy seas of love and connection. And who knows, you might just come out the other side with a deeper understanding of your relationship, and maybe even a little more love in your heart. So you ready for this? You ready to take a hard look at your relationship, to decode the signals, to unravel the mysteries of love and connection? Well, I hope so, because this is going to be one wild ride. So, are you ready to dive into the relationship abyss? Good, because there's no turning back now. Ever heard of the saying, communication is key? Well, forget about it. In relationships, it's more like a padlock. Now, let's not kid ourselves here. We all know communication in a relationship is as important as the air we breathe. But man, it can be as tricky as trying to peel a banana with boxing gloves on. Look, no one's expecting you to be a mind reader, but sometimes it feels like you gotta be Sherlock Holmes to decode what your partner's saying. Let's take a classic example. Your significant other says, "Do whatever you want." Now, anyone who's been in the battlefield of love knows that's a grenade with the pin pulled out. Do whatever you want never means do whatever you want. It's like a game of chess where the queen has the king in checkmate. Then there's the infamous, "we need to talk." Those 4 words can make your heart drop faster than a lead balloon. It's like walking into a lion's den with a stake around your neck. You know you're in for a wild ride. And let's not forget the all-time favorite, "I'm fine." The Mona Lisa of miscommunication. "I'm fine" is the biggest lie since I read the terms and conditions. It's a phrase shrouded in mystery, a labyrinth with no exit. It's like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube in the dark. But hey, it's not all doom and gloom. When communication is good, it's like a symphony, a harmonious melody of words and feelings. It's the glue that holds the relationship together, the bridge between two hearts. So, remember, communication in a relationship is like a dance. Sometimes you step on each other's toes, other times you move in perfect harmony. It's a roller coaster ride of highs and lows, of laughter and tears. But at the end of the day, it's what makes the journey worthwhile. Remember, folks, "I'm fine" is the biggest lie since I read the terms and conditions. In a relationship, affection can sometimes feel like an infection, you know, the kind that makes you break out in hives? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the lovey-dovey, chocolate-covered, rose petals on the bed kind of affection. I'm talking about the kind of affection that leaves you scratching your head, wondering if you've somehow stumbled into a real-life version of The Walking Dead. Let's face it, we've all been there. That moment when your partner gazes into your eyes, and you're not sure if they're lost in your soul or just trying to figure out if you've got spinach in your teeth, or when they hold your hand so tight that you start to lose feeling in your fingers and wonder if they're actually trying to establish a blood choke. Then there's the classic surprise hug from behind. Now, in movies, this is the epitome of romance. But in reality, it can feel more like an anaconda's death grip. You're just minding your business, cooking some spaghetti, and bam! You're in a bear hug that would make a professional wrestler proud. And let's not forget the goodnight kiss. Sounds sweet, right? But sometimes it feels like they're trying to perform a tonsillectomy with their tongue. You're left gasping for air, thinking, was that affection or an attempt at CPR? You see, affection is a tricky beast. It's like a chameleon, changing colors and forms depending on the situation. One day it's a gentle caress, the next it's a headlock. It's the fine line between sweet and suffocating, between caring and creepy. So how do you figure out the vibe of your relationship? Well, it's all about balance. If the affection feels more like a stranglehold than a cuddle, it might be time to have a conversation. But remember, it's all in good humor. After all, love is a battlefield, and sometimes that battlefield includes surprise bear hugs and tonsillectomy kisses. So, next time your partner gives you a hug, ask yourself, is this affection or an attempt to squeeze the life out of me? If only relationships came with a time machine, oh, that the things we'd change. Imagine being able to rewind the clock to that first magical moment when your eyes met across the crowded room, or maybe fast forward past those awkward foot-and-mouth blunders that left you wishing the earth would swallow you whole. But alas, relationships don't come with time machines. Instead, we're stuck in the here and now, navigating the choppy waters of love with nothing but our wits and a questionable sense of direction. And time, my friends, is an interesting beast, especially when it comes to relationships. Now, you might think that spending every waking moment with your significant other is the key to a blissful relationship. After all, who wouldn't want to bask in the glow of their loved one's presence all day, every day? But here's a little reality check for you. Ever heard of this phrase, too much of a good thing? Yeah, that applies to relationships too. But think about it. If you're constantly in each other's face, when do you have time to miss each other? When do you have time to grow as individuals? Being in a relationship doesn't mean you morph into a single entity. You're still two separate people with your own interests, your own friends, and your own lives. Being together 24/7 can stifle that individual growth. And let's not even get started on the potential for little annoyances to morph into full-blown arguments. On the flip side, spending too little time together can be just as problematic. If you're always too busy or too tired to spend time with your partner, you might as well be on different continents. Relationships thrive on shared experiences and quality time. Without that, you're just two people sharing a Netflix password. So the key is to find that sweet spot where you're spending enough time together to build a strong, loving relationship, but not so much that you start contemplating whether they're smothering them with a pillow is a viable option. Remember, folks, spending 24/7 with your boo might sound cute, but so did eating glue as a kid. We all know how that turned out. All right, it's time to wrap this up. Let's see if we've learned something or if we've just wasted 10 minutes of our lives. We kicked things off with the relationship riddle, where we realized relationships are more complicated than a Rubik's Cube on steroids. Yeah, we've all been there, staring at our significant other like they're a crossword puzzle, except they're in a language we don't speak. Fun times. Then we dove headfirst into the good, the bad, and the ugly of communication. Remember, folks, communication in a relationship is like a game of charades, except the stakes are your sanity and the game never ends. But hey, who doesn't love a good challenge, right? We then stepped into the murky waters of affection or infection, a delicate dance between sweet gestures and borderline creepy behavior. Are they showing affection, or are they just trying to get you to sign a contract for your soul? Hard to tell. Next up was our thrilling journey in the time machine. Quality time. The magical ingredient to a successful relationship. It's like the glue that holds everything together, or the duct tape that keeps the cracks from showing. Depends on the day, really. And now, here we are at the grand finale. The main takeaway here? Decoding your relationship vibe is like trying to read hieroglyphics while blindfolded in a room filled with smoke and with a parrot squawking in your ear. It's a wild ride. But hey, who said love was supposed to be easy? So, did we solve the relationship Da Vinci Code? Probably not. But did we have a good laugh and maybe learn a thing or two? Definitely. And there you have it, folks. Relationship decoded, or more confused than ever. Well, at least we had some laughs along the way. Till next time, keep decoding.